unauthorized use of hit music.
The number one station for the unsigned artist.
QSJ Radio.
On www.qsjradio.com.
You start here.
In 3, 2, 1.
Spinning the change. I don't fuck with no lames. I just stay in my lane. I'm up on my shit. I'm still playing no games. I run it back like a referee. Baby girl, there's no test.
Thank you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you guys are at and listening. Welcome back to Digging Up the Underground. We have an exclusive interview with TM on QSJ Radio. And just a reminder, this QSJ Radio, we dig into the underground, uncover independent artists, creative voices, and the stories that shape the music you don't hear anywhere else. Today's guest is an artist whose journey has taken him from Atlanta to Las Vegas, from underground stages to international charts. He shared bills with artists ranging from Flostradamus and the Riot 10 to Butch Clancy, Bro Safari. His releases have charted on very, very prolific and very top charting. For examples, Beatport, iTunes, Amazon Music, global radio charts across multiple countries. After years of building and independently, TM recently signed with Wild Dogs Entertainment and is now distributing through Roc Nation. His latest single, SADDERDAY, which is spelled SADDER, okay, like the emotion, has earned praise from publications including The Source, Billboard Hip Hop, Milk, and Vogue magazine, with critics highlighting his ability to transform personal heartbreak into compelling art. Today we're diving into the journey, the setbacks, because there is some history here, the victories, and what's next for one of independent music's most resilient voices. Big shout out to everybody listening. TM, welcome to QSJ Radio.
Good morning, Mr. Dave. Thanks for having me on QSJ Radio this morning, bright and early.
Yes, it's super early. I don't even know if you had coffee, if you do the coffee thing. Yeah.
Hey, guy, I literally wake up and go straight to it.
So your story starts in Atlanta, but eventually leads you back to or to Las Vegas. Looking back now, what parts of those two cities shaped you to the most as both a person and an artist?
Yeah, well, definitely a tale of two different cities. I was a bit younger. I left Georgia when I was about 17. To join the military, but so like I'd say like a slight bit slower lifestyle there. Obviously the Southern hospitality, you get your manners and your etiquette from being Southern, you know, your style and flavor. There's a lot of influential Southern hip hop groups, Outkast, Goody Mob. The later years, you got your T.I.s, your Ludacris's, you know, stuff like that. Musically and like emotionally, definitely shaped from Atlanta. And then I came to Vegas after separating from the military in like late 2004. And Vegas is just it's like a faster paced, go, 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 never sleep kind of city where it's like it's who you know and who you've networked with is what's gonna, you know, get you to that next VIP section or private party or listening party. Yeah. Here's very much about nurturing relationships after networking. And it's kind of like a faster vibe. So the two of those together, you know, using the being polite out the gate, you know, treating people how you'd want to be treated, kind of vibe. I grew up with in Georgia. To here where it's like catering people for their entertainment, trying to entertain and trying to get people, boom, 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 whatever they need 24/7. It's kind of like a concierge vibe out here.
Jeez.
Those two have definitely gave me a different perspective, especially like when I be going to play shows in other cities. I have to remember not everywhere is Vegas because now it's a 24/7 vibe.
Definitely, definitely. Big shout out to everybody listening. If you just tuned in, we were talking to TM and his early stages and how Las Vegas and Atlanta, two different worlds, literally, have shaped him as a person, as an artist. You mentioned here that you was in the military. When did you join and how long were you in there?
I joined the military like around this time in 1999. I think it was like July, honestly, and I was in till I think my separation date's actually 2005, but I left my unit in 2004. It just took them a while to get some paperwork going. So 99 to '05 is what my paperwork says, but like actually being there, I'd say 99 to '04.
Oh yeah,
I was
it's just a thing for me because I was in the service as well, basically around the same time, July 2000. But I stood in for a long time. I wasn't gung ho because I couldn't deal with the politics part, but I stood in to get the end of the fucking check, right? So I stood in. I just bypassed the bullshit for a very long time because, as you probably know, that's a different world right there, and it depends on who's leading you. But, thank you for your service, even though, it's a very while ago, probably forgot it, you know what I mean? But there's no camaraderie like the service members that you're with, and you know this shit. But
yeah, respect you for your service as well, brother.
so your debut album or EP, Can You Save Me? That shit hit number 5 on Beatport about 12 years ago. Most artists, they spend mad years trying to get this kind of traction. Did early success though, because that was probably what, like, maybe 10 years in the game. I don't know if you went right into the music stuff as soon as you got out. Did the early success create confidence, pressure, or maybe just both?
Um, I would almost say neither because I was so just caught up in like going through the motions. So when I came out here, when I separated, I started throwing parties and concerts and events like immediately. It's something I would be interested in, something I was already doing before I joined the military. So I came out here, started throwing shows. I got really immersed in the scene, and so I was already booking a lot of DJs and producers. Like I threw some shows with some folks that were like recurring weekly shows, and so I was always booking DJs, whatever. And I saw all these people having so much fun. I'm like, man, I want to be an artist. Put that out, I got that song from a producer named Jay Philly. It reminded me of this like 1980s Mike and the Mechanics song called Silent Running. I don't know if the listeners are familiar with that. I might have just dated myself, but
It's
I
all
like
good. They all
I,
did
I
this.
from all yeah, I like music from all years, all genres. So something about that song, when I heard that beat, it made me think of that song. So I don't know if people are familiar. If you go back and listen to that song, I kind of bit their chorus. I just changed the words a bit, but I definitely took like their flow and their like timing or whatever. Um, so when that came out, it pretty much like instantly charted on Beatport, which is mostly like DJ stuff. So I started getting bookings playing like little festivals and EDM events all around the country. So I didn't really have like time to be like confident or any of that other stuff because I just started working.
Yeah.
I just started promoting behind the song, and to me, that was just like the natural move. So I just went straight to that. It's just more fun than anything. I was looking at it as just fun at the beginning. I was just having
Yeah.
fun. It was something different than just throwing the shows. Now I was getting to play them too. That was really it.
So it was crazy, and I apologize, but basically our audience are unsigned artists, right? So most of this is kind of like preparing them for what could be their chance. And one of the questions here is like you charted not only on Beatport, on iTunes, Amazon Music, international radio charts, right? Was there a specific moment where you realized, okay, this is work. this is not a hobby no more. This is not whatever, and you had to like legitimize your career path.
Yeah, probably like a couple of years ago, um, when I started getting offered opportunities like things like this, like doing shows, interviews, getting in some of the bigger publications. Like I grew up reading like The Source, Ear Milk, stuff like that. Um, I think for me, where it started to like kind of starting to feel more real, I have a song where I did a collab with Riff Raff. That came organically through my buddy who I co-produce with, or he engineers for me a lot. B Genius. His group Split Breed was on tour back in the Warp Tour days with Riff Raff when they were all coming up, before everyone was famous. And so that was kind of like a full circle moment where I was like, wait a minute, I might actually be doing something with this. And it definitely is a lot of work. For independent artists, a lot of people think you just like put out a song and that's it. The work's done. But unfortunately, when you put out a song, you've only done maybe like 20-30% of the work. Like it's all uphill from there. You got 70% of the challenge is still ahead of you, getting the song in front of people, getting radio interviews, getting blogs, getting playlist placements, like getting it on the radio. It's an uphill battle, especially as an independent artist, because you're competing with all these major artists that have millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars behind them and professional marketing and rollout plans. Most independent artists have no idea about a rollout plan or a marketing plan. Um, so I guess honestly, it's still getting real to me every day.
Wow.
Still work. I don't feel yet that I'm like uh, I've made it or anything like of that nature. But I guess that's all relative to what you would consider making it. Like to me, um, I don't have any Billboard plaques. I don't have any Grammys. I don't have any of that kind of stuff. So I still consider myself an emerging artist. I'm still trying to build a fan base that's loyal, that I can depend on to grab the releases, grab the merch, come to the shows when I hit their little local cities. So it's all work, man. I'm still working every day. So yeah, as an independent artist, I think it's 2 times the amount of work like an established major artist will have. Like if you come out the gate and you got signed to Capitol Records or Sony, you're gonna have a different experience than an artist coming up the independent way for sure.
If you guys are just tuning in, we got TM. He's talking to us about certain things is like, you know, we're there, we're in the noise, where our name is getting out there, but it's still a lot of work, and it gets a little bit crazy. We're talking about talk about this riff raff. I got this shit on cue right quick. I'm gonna definitely play that, but I wanna talk about this name. What is this? Is this like Timothy Miles? What was what's TM?
My kid told me yesterday, tell people it stands for Terry Maple. It does not stand for Terry Maple, but my kid thought it was funny, so we're telling people today it's Terry Maple. I actually got the name from one of my battle buddies. He was, I guess, technically my mentor in this rap game, hip hop shit, music shit. Um, his government name is Anthony Hicks. I believe he still resides in Atlanta, Georgia. His production DJ name is DJ Drum Major. He gave
Wow.
me the name. It was actually originally The Man. We were a big fan of like the Matrix movies, and we thought that Mr. Smith was actually the good guy. Maybe he's the one, not Neo. And so because of that, he's the man. He was the main guy to us. He was the dude. Um, I believe there was also some historical connotations behind that name that were supposed to be comical because of our dynamic together. So now I just tell people it means all kind of different things. I come up with totally different things, bro. Like
That's
too
crazy.
much too much is one of my favorites.
Too much.
Be the musician, I still like the man, but as of yesterday it's Terry Maple.
Shout out to Terry Maple in the chat. This is Bentley Spaceships on QSJ Radio featuring Riff Raff.
I pull up on Friday, Jack Jason, big watch, diamonds on my clock. I froze the whole block. I'm burning coals off, paint picture like Mozart. I'm a mechanic. I leave you stranded at the Grand Canyon. I'm at O'Bannon. I'm Earl Camp. It's the white warm moon. Waking up at noon. Yeah, it's too soon. Out of calls the monsoon. Focus sweets with grim rings.
Tune in to QSJ Radio. That was Bentley Spaceships with featuring Riff Raff. If you guys don't know, it's basically legendary artist. How did that come about? Was that one of those like moves where you had to like do some fucking transitions and transactions?
No, that one was actually organic, and a lot of people do, especially independent artists, do pay for features. That feature cost me nothing in theory. It was just through networking and relationships. My friend B Genius did a lot of engineering and production on a bunch of albums for him. I think he did like the Tangerine Tiger, the Peach Panther.
Wow.
Cool names for albums. He helped him with a lot of those albums, like either engineering, recording, mixing, mastering, or producing. And so he was in town. He lived here for a while. He was in town doing some projects, and I think it was originally supposed to be his song. They brought me in. I did my part, and then somehow it ended up becoming my song.
What? Just fuck it, right? You spent like a few decades navigating the music industry independently. What are some of the biggest misconceptions people have about it, and what it takes to survive as an independent artist? Because I've seen a post from this talent in New York City. I try to follow these people like as much as I can. After being at a show with them, finding them there, having them on a guest, following them. And then I seen a post where it says, my career is becoming expensive. I knew that was like a jab at themselves as an independent artist, maybe a little bit doubtful of, am I doing this for, whatever reasons and stuff like that. Because some people they do that. They just go broke over this shit. So, what are some misconceptions that you've seen that is like, nah, that doesn't really happen. That does happen. Maybe I'm crazy, but I feel like there's always a way to have an independent music career and still have a regular life.
Yeah, I have kind of had some of those thoughts and moments, like, even lately. Like a couple days ago, bro. Like, kind of thought, man, like, when do you consider yourself successful in something, or when do you consider something like a loss? I think a lot of independent artists go through that. And like your buddy was saying, going broke doing this, like, it costs a lot of money to do this. Like, you're competing against major labels, major artists that are throwing in hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. And then 120,000 plus songs come out every single day now, because that was before AI started. Now we have AI. There's probably more than 120,000 songs come out a day. So you're competing with, at minimum, 120,000 songs a day. And what are you doing different that they're not? Some of those people are throwing in money. So you need a shitload of money if you want to be able to put eyes and ears on your product, your brand, as a musician. So it's like, well, what are you doing outside of this to get money to be able to pay for this independent career you're trying to launch off? A lot of people have regular jobs that, rough economy out here in America these days in 2026. In the case with you are not one of these podcast or radio hosts that charge, but there are plenty of radio shows and podcasts to do an interview just like that. The host wants to be paid. There are blogs and internet sites that we'll put you on there, but then the majority of them, they want to be paid. So a lot of the times when you see these independent artists on podcasts or in publications, that was a paid advertisement that just doesn't say it's a paid advertisement. These people are paying for that to get in front of you. Again, it's no different than what the majors are doing. Radio in a whole, the entire radio industry is one giant advertisement. The radio stations are paying to play that music. They're paying for that music. That music's the real commercial. And the commercials you hear, well, that's them raising the money to pay for the fucking music they just played you. So it's one big cash cow. So I don't know, man.
So
I have that.
maybe it is real. Maybe it is real. Yeah, and I know that we talked about this feature that you had with Riff Raff, right? And it's cool, but at the end of the day, like shout out to you and Riff Raff and everything like that. That went off of organics and things like that. But then it's like, and when I was deep into New York's hip hop culture, I ended up following, no bullshit. This is when like Joe Budden was doing music tours and shit, right?
Not
And
potty.
he still had Joe Budden online. He always had that. He was always this pioneer of getting artists to get their music online. He's always been like that. He's on my top 5, believe it or not. Okay. The person that he is, he's a stupid ass, but his music is on point. Okay. That's how I feel. And I hope that he sees this shit and he realizes you as a person is stupid. You as an artist is amazing. But anyways, when I followed the hip hop, little entourage there, the end goal was to meet Joe Budden. And I got close enough to know that where he was going to be like every Tuesday night. But my thing was that Tuesday night was because he wanted to be there to isolate. And it would be rude of me to try to fuck with that, right? So I was like, okay, cool. So what that did was it made me sideswipe or do another quest to get another specific artist. And what ended up happening was I ended up becoming part of this networking of Fred the Godson. And so when I was around Fred the Godson's peoples, it wasn't an investigation. It was basically like I became peoples. So organically, I had access to everything he was doing. And then that built my portfolio or whatever the fuck you want to call it for this thing. But once I got into that and it was crazy. I was in the Navy at the time. That was crazy. But and to know that the behind the scenes is stereotypically, dirty money happening to make an artist kind of blow up. Right? It was dirty money. So we won't talk about the specifics in there, but I know that there were people financing Fred. Fred was a genuine good person and people wanted him to succeed in his craft. And that was it. So I was like, okay. And I'm in the Navy. Like, I'm not supposed to be in these weird situations, right? Yeah. Where I'm watching transactions happen by the hundreds of thousands, either pounds or dollars. And I'm sitting here like, I got to get the fuck out of here, right? Like, I'm supposed to be doing the interview and dipping. But I saw what it was for artists to struggle. And one of the main guys, he was like this marketing part of their guy. So he always had radio in his ear. He had 2 phones. He was always wanting he would Cash App or whatever, how the money was sent to the DJs at that time to play the song during like afternoon mixes and bullshit. And I was wondering, like, he was always on the phone. He was always doing something. And it was like these deals that would be happening for an independent artist were like the push, where people had somebody behind them, kind of like, yo, I just sent them 3 Gs. They need to fucking play this song. And then they need to drop a bomb on it. You won't, you know what I mean? Let's not mention the names, but that dude did not break records. People broke his bank account to break records. So, and DJs did that for a long time. And then all of a sudden, it gets commercialized that that's happening. And then people want to act like, they organically gain fans. And there was no such thing as, what was it called? Something Polia. I forgot what it's called. Payola, right? Which is not the same as people are thinking, because nowadays they're talking about the stream numbers are going up and they're using bots and doing a whole bunch of shit. It's always been around, but the payola is different because DJs are going to play your song for their current audience, and you just cross your fingers. Payola is when you're doing plays enough for you to get charted. DJs playing your music does not get charted because it's not even in the fucking in the listing that your song was played, right? But anyways, that's different. I know you're a radio guy. I know that your family history.
Shows actually do count as plays now, so you would get counted. You could chart if you were, let's say you had a song that was getting played in every mix show by every afternoon DJ today in the country. That happened for a couple weeks. You might chart. It's possible, yeah. I would say pay for play is both of those, though. I say payola is kind of both of those. Like, in like the 1950s, 40s, and like early rock and roll America, the manager would slide in the radio station, hand him the record. The record might have some tickets to the next Dodgers game in it. It wasn't direct money. It was Dodgers tickets, but that was the payment. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I came in there and I slid you tickets to the next Elvis concert because maybe your radio station wasn't that plugged. That was the play. That was the pay for you to play my record. Now it's like, hey, here's kind of the same shit. Here's $10,000. Throw me on Shade 45, or throw me on this interview. That it's all still happening. People are still paying. And that's why I think it is a challenge for independent artists, because people aren't talking about, like, the majors are doing this. They're still paying radio stations to play. Like, if they want to break a new song, why do you think a new song will come out? Like, I'm just making some name up right here. Like, say like Big X the Plug or whatever, right? And then a song will come out, or what's that new? What's the song I've been hearing lately? That Don Julio, Don't Drink Gin. What's that? Boss Man, D-Lo.
Yeah.
Bro, that song you can't turn on the radio and not hear it. That's by design. You know what I'm saying? They paid for that shit. Like, out of nowhere, this song just everywhere. Like, come on, bro. And everyone loves it. Everyone doesn't love anything. So if everyone loves something, that lets you know they're being paid for it, because there's some asshole out there who hates everything, and even that dude likes it. Like, come on. So they're getting paid at first, and then it gets to the point you're hearing it so much that everyone's playing it. Like, even if you didn't like it at first, it starts getting in your head, and the next thing you know, you have subconsciously been converted into a fan, and now you're championing that shit for him for free. You're asking your friend, "Hey man, you heard that new song?"
Yeah. And then it becomes word of mouth, which is not how it really first came out.
Yeah, and as an independent artist, you got to compete with that. So these cats are still paying DJs. They're still paying mix shows. They're paying fucking people to play that shit. They're paying blogs to talk about it. And then I'm over here having to compete with those guys.
If you guys are just tuning in, it's TM. He's here in the building. Was talking about something, the independent artists probably go through all the time, and it's the expensive part where people believe, like, you release a song and then you cross your fingers, which in reality is not real. This is getting to the point where being online is part of an everyday life, whether you're a small business, somebody with a new invention, a story to tell. You got to be out there, and your competition already has the backing. They already have the banking, and even if they you hear the misconceptions of how record deals or people with that kind of backing do things. Yeah, those people are paying enough or are crediting them because they're probably gonna have to pay them back anyway. Um, uh, and they believe in what they're doing is going to push that artist beyond. And one of the things that I've really never realized is, TM, you said something which is crazy. Like over 100,000 songs get released a day, and you are one versus that. And that is fucking crazy to even think about, because I don't even know if I see 100,000 people a day. And I'm talking about being on the highway, seeing people at the gym, walking around Walmart. You know what I'm saying? And for even for people that have a very, very active life, do you really see 100,000 people a day? And if you look at that aspect, who the fuck notices you other than the people
Yeah.
that are close to you? You know what I'm saying? And that's the part where people are not understanding. If you picture that, the only people that actually see you are the ones that are closest to you. And they're the ones that see your sign up, and you got to get the people that are in front of you to pass the fucking sign to the back. So that way that you are basically everybody is there for you. But that is super hard because you got different personalities, different people that are going to like certain shit that you like, and all that stuff. But let's move into the future here, because you have been able to hold it down, and I appreciate the vulnerability where you saying, man, just a few days ago I'm saying, what the fuck am I doing? You know what I'm saying? And that's a long process for people to have. I usually get that when I have bad dad moments at my house,
Yeah.
because fuck these kids, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They be making me fucking regret my whole life. Like, I should have never nutted in your mom. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, that's life. That's the growing pains of things that we go through. You've shared stages with so many artists, several different genres of artists, and so many scenes. You kind of like chameleon yourself in there. You are hardcore with the hip hop and have kind of this modern flow going on. Is that something that changed over time, or is that something you always had and just people are catching up on?
I honestly think that's something I just always had and was catching up on. I just recently learned that what I was calling freestyling all this time isn't freestyling, it's off the top. I was on tour earlier in the
The
year with
fuck?
Ice and Fuego Bass. Um, uh, I think I was back in February and March. It was Fuego's tour.
Yeah.
He had Shy with him. He brought me out with him. She's actually one that told me that was the difference. So I guess half the time I see these cats like at radio doing freestyles or whatever. Freestyles just some shit these fools like memorized,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. They
And
have
so
a
that's
very good talent of memorizing their shit.
right. So forever, like when I started out, like I would just go. And apparently that's off the top. I always thought it was called freestyling. So I would always just off the top, right? So I was always able to do that. And like, I was never that guy that would like get drunk and rap at the party, but I'd have a couple friends that knew I could do that. And so they'd like fuck with me and get me to do it sometimes. So when I first started out, I could kind of do that or whatever. But I never took like the rapping thing like seriously. It was just something that I was like happened to be okay with
Yeah.
coming up with work really quickly, that kind of meant some shit together. I never really thought about it or touched on it. And then I don't know, yeah, it just kind of works out that way, I guess. I honestly think like I just saw a thing the other day that Riff Raff did. I got some shit about this on the internet because I saw like he did like a 9-minute off the top where obviously that was not pre-memorized because he made some mistakes and some of the
Yeah.
shit didn't make sense. But altogether, still a hot ass 9 minutes. And I made a comment on the internet about how, no offense to him, but I could do that 100 times better.
Ooh.
And then all the people started hating on me, like, "Oh, if you could do it better, you'd be doing it." And I'm like, to be honest, I haven't been invited on things where people ask me to do that,
Yeah.
and it did. you motherfuckers wouldn't be commenting this shit. You'd be agreeing with me because I probably am one of the best people on the planet doing that. I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, anyone says. Half your artists that are out here saying they're the best at this shit, bro, they wrote that shit. They memorized it for 6 months. I can do this shit on any beat, almost any time. I mean, that's some whack ass like 1990s boom bap New York shit. No, that's not my style. I'm from the fucking South. I live in Vegas, but like you give me like some up tempo fire ass shit, I can crush most of that shit off the top. Like just make that shit up. Half the fucking songs I have either were written in 30 seconds, 5-10 minutes, or like literally done in one take. But I don't even like claim that to be my skill of music. I don't know. I'm just
That's crazy.
hooks is kind of my thing. Really, like I hooks just come to my head. Like I don't preview beats either. Like I recently had there's a producer here in Vegas. Me and him been trying to work together for a hot minute. His name's Reverse. We've been trying to work together, and just timing hasn't ever seemed to work out. He just sent me like a whole pack of beats the other day, but like I don't preview beats. That's like not how I create. Like I literally don't listen to beats unless I'm in the studio, everything tracked out, ready to record, microphone on, right? Because when I hear something, I think of it as like my first impression of meeting someone, meeting a girl, being at a job interview. You have one chance to like boom the first time, right? So whenever I listen to something, in case some shit hits my brain, like all of a sudden a hook hits me, I don't want to miss that or lose it because it's never coming back.
Yeah.
I won't preview beats because what if I get a certain emotion from that? And now I got to rush to a studio and try to capture that. By the
Yeah.
time I get the car and get there, get all set up, that shit's gone. So I got to do it right then and there. And then if I decide to write to it after that, once I have that hook, then I can sit down and write.
Yeah.
But
As
to
long
be
as you
honest,
got as long as you got that first part
yeah,
in.
and sometimes, bro, I'll just be like in the kitchen cooking my son lunch or shit. We're talking about the dad vibes. I'll be in here frying up some chicken or something, and all of a sudden, a little melody will hit me, like a little like da 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 ba da da
Straight
da or
off
something.
the oil pop. Like
I'll have to hit the fucking voice recorder on my phone real quick. I'll like hum out a melody, or I'll tap out something on my legs. Like I wrote like a Euro pop song the other day, like half of one. I gotta get in here and tinker with it and finish it. But literally that way, I'm making fucking chicken in the kitchen, and so shit hit my head. I'm
nice.
on
Nice.
my legs, and then boom, I have a melody, and then I have a hook, and now it's like boom, I got the framework for a song. Now I just got to get in there and do it, and that's usually how inspiration will hit me. So when producers will be like, "Yo, I got these beats, I want to send you, listen to them and get back to me," and I'm always like, "Bro, like." It's gonna be a minute because I can't do that till I'm in the studio, or I'm wasting both of our time.
Yeah.
I want this shit to be like that first moment I fell in love with some girl type shit. Yeah, like that's the moment I need, and I feel like if I don't do that, I'm
Yeah,
robbing
yeah.
these.
Keep the
Yeah,
butterflies
bro.
going because as and you know people uh, I know exactly what that feels like. Yeah, yeah, and sometimes it can come from different inspirations. In this case, it was the fried chicken, right? So, sometimes it's a long drive. Sometimes it's anything or wow, like bits and pieces of something like that. What's crazy is that you've done this independently so such a long time, and now that we have this Wild Dogs Entertainment thing going on, and now we're dealing with labels specifically. For someone who spent mad years building this shit independently, what does that partnership represent for you personally?
Uh, that's like a semi milestone, stepping stone, a tiny brick of success, because now feel like I have someone that co-sign and they believe in me, right? Instead of just me out here believing me, now I have someone who like believes in me to the point they literally match dollar for dollar. Like if I'm gonna put $100 into promoting something, they're gonna put $100 into promoting something. Um, they've networked, helped me network instead of just me out here networking. They're helping me network. They're getting me on opportunities. Like if they're the reason I got on the tour of Fuego Base. a Black Soprano family. I did an independent heavyweights tour at them before that, so they're getting me on some shows. Some of the shows aren't the best.
I mean,
Some are the best. But
I mean, that's life, right?
that's life, bro.
You
You
cross your
know.
fingers that McDoubles still tastes the same, right? So,
or that it'll taste the same from one place to the other.
yeah, exactly.
But yeah, no, they've got me some opportunities, and just like really it's the matching of the money is really the big thing. Finding someone who'll throw in money with you. Like you said, a lot of these people have investors or they got some dirty money coming at them. And for the dirty money people, they're just making their money clean. So they're happy. You know, like,
Yeah.
oh no, they
Yeah.
lost 20%, and now they can spend their money and go buy a house.
Yeah.
And they go, look, I made it over here, which they couldn't have done that before.
Well, yeah, exactly.
I'm not saying that's what's going on with my people. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah, I know, and I'm not even hating on it. I'm not even hating on it because you know what? That's your ground roots getting you out of situations.
Yeah. No, but that's not what's happening to mine for sure.
Yeah.
It might have been for me personally back in the day, but with Wild Dogs, no, they're legitimate business people. They're matching me dollar for dollar. So that's definitely cool. It is different. Like I think me and you were discussing a little bit earlier. Like when it's all me doing stuff, I can just put my thing out on DistroKid, pick my release date, and hey, that's when your song's coming out. With the partnership with Wild Dogs, and because we have the distribution through Roc Nation, you put stuff out when they tell you put it out. Like it's like you submit like, hey, I want to put out this EP, and then they'll give you some dates, and then like you can kind of pick through them. But then at the end of the day, it's really Roc Nation's the one that's going to tell you, okay, it's going to come out on this day. So that's a little different, you know. Also some of the things like you might have to spend X amount of dollars on a marketing rollout or marketing plan, or they won't fuck with it. They won't release it, you know?
Yeah.
Like if you're putting like 10 racks behind it, they're not going to put it out type shit. I'm not saying that's in every instance, but
yeah.
you know, like for example, I have an EP that is slated for release here, Almost Famous EP. I don't think they wanted me to say this, but I'll say it anyway. We dropped it earlier in the year.
Better
okay?
watch it. I'm kind of out there. Okay.
Okay. That's good. That's why I'm doing your show. I dropped it earlier in the year. I had a feature on there that I had got a license for. I had a falling out with the people I got the license from. Those people don't understand how business or licenses work, and they because their feelings got hurt that all of a sudden they can be like, well, you can't have that feature. So we put this EP out. It immediately charted debuted number 5 day 1. By 3 days of being out, I was number 2 on Amazon's bestsellers and new releases. And by day 4, when the person whose feelings were hurt figured out what was going on, they filed a DMCA violation claiming I violated copyright on their licensed song that I paid them for.
Yo.
So we had to take that album down, right?
Yo.
Yeah,
I've
bullshit.
seen that happen a lot.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up it happened to you. Damn.
I'm going through the court process with that whole thing. So we took that one track off the stupid EP, and now I've added 2 songs to the EP that weren't gonna be on there, including the new song Thunderclap that just came out. And now the EP slated for re-release. It's like rewind, erase. That didn't happen. It happened, bro. I hit number 2. Can't no one ever take that away. We saw it.
Yeah.
It happened. Now, obviously, Amazon ain't gonna be like, "Oh, here's your plaque for number 2,"
because of the thing. Yeah.
But it's coming back out. I'm waiting on a date. It will be released between me and Wild Dogs, Roc Nation. It should be sometime in the next couple weeks. Like I'm hoping maybe next Thursday, next Friday, this shit comes out. So new EP on the way. New EP. It definitely has 2 more songs.
Bonus tracks. Let's go.
Yeah, 2 bonus tracks on there. You know, keeping the algorithm going, keeping the fans engaged, or trying to build new fans, a couple new songs. So that's coming out. I'm hoping that the people that did support it when it came out the first time support it again. I'd like to rechart it and this time actually get my goddamn plaque. That court case should be done in July. I'm going in there like this, bro. Like these people have the case. You know, I got the license. I got the contract. I'm gonna win that shit. So I'll probably re-release that song that got taken off that feature. Anyone that heard it knows it was me and Lil Wayne. That shit will probably come back out later this summer. I'm gonna do an EP. That's probably gonna have because there's some other features that were involved that I got on a non-exclusive license to the same person I have the drama with. So I got a song that I had with Jack Harlow. Um, that's
Dope.
supposed to come out. So
Dope.
hopefully that'll come out. I'm supposed to have a song coming out at some point with Fuego Bass. My part's done. It was submitted. I'm just waiting on the other end of that. So I should drop another EP sometime this summer, maybe later in the year, because things keep seeming to getting
Yeah.
delayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, EP out sometime in the next couple weeks. And that'll be my third release with Wild Dogs.
So,
The EP.
shout out to everybody listening. If you guys are wondering the language that has been used here, okay, let me just emphasize something real quick, okay? For those who do not study the music industry like some of us do, is there's a lot of business talk within those releases and paragraphs and things like that. When we're talking licensing, you got to understand you're making a song and then letting it go. It's one of those things where you're just like, it's mine, but it's not, right? It's one of those things. And when people are releasing music, it's literally a fucking dove release. You know what I'm saying? Like you're letting it go to the world and hopefully it comes right back to you. So, and I know I don't want to get too emphasized in that and bore the shit out of everybody, but there is a lot of business talk within that conversation that's basically, this is supposed to happen because they told me it was going to happen, and then we're just going to see, because now the situation is kind of different. But I want to get into this new single that you got going on. It's hitting, it went right over all of your previous songs in the past as one of the most popular songs you have out, getting a lot of traction. SADDERDAY. Now this is spelled SADDERDAY. So guys, SADDERDAY. Me, I'm kind of like, I was introduced to you through this song, fire track, one, emotional as fuck. But I also saw that there was like a kid in the front. Now, this is probably one of the most obscure, and I'm going to say obscure, of covers that you've had, because everything else is flashy. You're expecting some rah-rah shit, da-da-da-da. And now you got this kid looking out the window. And I'm like, okay, did he switch it up? Is this something going on? You know what I mean? Let's talk about that. The song has been described as transforming heartbreak into art. Was there a specific moment or experience that made you create something like this?
Everyone's had, even the biggest players or whoever pimps, the dudes, heartbreaker.
Players.
Everybody
Let's go.
Everybody had that moment where there's probably someone in their life that got to that heart, even if for a brief second, It could have been the one that got away. It could have been the one that never was. I feel like everyone's had that. Everyone's been through a breakup damn near, right? So like, I feel like everyone could tap into that, and everyone's had this moment. For me, I had that moment. There was one person that at one point in life, they were able to hurt me because I allowed myself to be vulnerable to them. Tragic loss, you know what I'm saying? But life's also about recycling. Reduce, reuse, recycle, right? Shit, not gonna lie, bro. Like, mine has been recycled. So, the moments that got, or the people that made me think about the moments that made me heartbroken are the current day people that are still in my life. So, I recycled. You know,
This
I
is
had like
that.
I had an early, I
Yeah.
had like an early relationship when I came here. I was with someone for like 4 or 5 years, and then after that, we weren't together for like 8, 9 years, and now we've been together again. We like met back up. We've been together again now, almost 10 years. So, that was like a way of tapping into our first chapter
Wow.
and,
So
and bringing.
wow. So I feel like there's a bio of this relationship that is rekindled coming up, right? Something like that, maybe.
Yeah, that's kind of like the idea behind it in a way, or
Yeah.
also like shrugging off like history. That's why like it kind of in the song it's like the
Let's bring it back. Let's play the song because you're going in, and I love it, and I want people to understand this. You know, he's coming off hard, but he does have a heart. This one right here is called Saturday on QSJ Radio.
Seems like we're playing these games. Hopscotch to these keepaways. I love you to these lonely days. It never had to be this way. I heard you suck on me, dick. I heard you running these tricks. I'm flicking the flame on my bick. Bitches, you crazy? What is this shit? Is this what you really wanna do? Is this how you really wanna go? Is this what you really wanna say? This could be the last time you see me, so turn the frown down, turn them tears on. To that last lie, to that fear's gone. You swear you love me, but you always run away.
What's crazy is that in the song, right? And this is like, and it's probably one of the first, like, I obviously, if you guys didn't know, like me and TM were reaching out to each other through Facebook networks where we didn't go find each other on the Instagrams or anything like that, blah, blah. I'm kind of like doing kind of like a ground roots promotion, going back to the people that are really trying to search for things. TM hit me up and things like that. So he hit me up with Saturday. First one to go back on and take us from Facebook to Instagram and to other places and show collaboration. And I was like, okay, so this dude has been doing this shit for a little bit because he's caught on to all the stuff that you have to do. Some people, they still in their old independent ways, right? So I'm listening to Saturday, and this is like my first response to Saturday is he fell in love with a hoe, right? Like this, I was like, this dude fell in love. He I don't know what the situation was. He fell in love with somebody, blah, blah. And then I started also thinking, like, this got to be a young dude, right? Because it's starting to sound like a Juice World and a Triple X, right? And I only know about those guys through my kids because I'm not a Juice World guy. He was their version of whatever Biggie was for the time frame that he was, right? And we have to respect that because people need to understand. Like, yes, Biggie, people got to understand. Biggie was only out for 3 years. Okay, he was only out for 3 years. So, and the same with Pac, even though he was like an actor, these dudes was only out for like less than 5 years altogether. And they changed the aspect of whatever. And just like Juice and Triple X did for our children or our people that were of that age, we have to respect that. Though we might not go into it. They also introduced something that was never involved in hip hop until you hit an album. And I mean, hit an album mean if you went into somebody's album work, there would be a song in there that's sad. It's not going to be something that's released to the public. You would have to go to the album to see that they have this unintentional vulnerability, all this other stuff, blah, blah. When we're talking about this, and now that I know a little bit of more history, you did fall in love young in in a place where you didn't know. And then all of a sudden, to know that there was the shrugging off of the history is crazy for me because that takes a lot of growing up. A lot of people don't understand that, but that comes with time. You're not going to shrug off history in your early 20s, even in your early 30s. You're not going to do it because it's still there. It still feels like you've been like traumatized or whatever. So it comes with a lot of growing up. Um, First of all, I want to give an applause in the background. I got one of them applauses, right? The song is fire. It hits in a vulnerable stage of your life in this relationship that you don't see that relationship like that anymore, which is crazy to even bring back the story of the past but what is it that made you want to do something so like almost like relive the moment for a second? But why would you? Like crazy.
Oh, and that's what's crazy too is remember I told you like how I write is just like I typically don't listen to productions. So I found that production, the guy that made that Logs Beats, believe he's in Florida. Um Kind of like how almost me and you connected, bro. I was on the socials, and I don't know if because me and him are not friends. We're not connected. Like we're connected now. I follow him now,
Yeah.
because I spent some money with him. But it was like a fucking ad or something. It was just an ad of him like trying to get people to his beat page, I believe, right?
Yeah.
Selling beats. And so again, I don't typically listen to beats. I was in my house afternoon. I was bored of smoking some weed. And I was like, fuck it, I'll listen to a couple beats because this ad hit me there. And it was like maybe the fourth beat on his page. It was I listened to about 30, 40 seconds or something. If I don't feel it, I'm next. I think it was like the fourth beat on his page. And it said like Little Peep type some shit or something, right? And like my girl's son loves Little Peep. He got me into Peep. I kind of fuck with that emotional shit like that.
Yeah.
It spoke to me the last years and it's made me like, bro, I could probably make this kind
We
of shit,
we
right?
we in our feeling ages, bro. No matter what
Yeah.
nobody say, we in our feeling ages. Am I gonna live tomorrow? Is literally how I wake up in the morning. This is fucking crazy. But go ahead.
So I heard like the 30 seconds of that shit and like, yo, this is fucking hard. I could probably do something with this. So instantly, boom, boom, boom. I'm writing him. I'm like, yo, what's up with this song? He's like, these are my lease options. I'm like, no, 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 I'm not doing that. I'm like, I need this. It needs to be me and only me. I need exclusive. And so we chopped it up on what it would cost to get the exclusive. Bam, I send him the money. He sends me a song. I never listened to it again. Never. I was sitting on it for like 3-4 months.
Stop.
Seriously, bro, I don't listen. So I heard 30 seconds of it and never listened to it again. Sitting on it 3 or 4 months. My buddy Breadman is out here from Seattle. He flew out from Seattle. We wanted to make some music together. He works at Sage Recordings Seattle. Great engineer.
Nice.
Seattle area. Go see the Breadman, Sage Recordings. So he was here at my house, and I was like, bro, I want to record. And so I think I just finished watching UFC. I was fucking retarded high. It's probably like 11 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night. We fire some shit up in my little home studio. He was like, "What do you want to work on?" I'm like, "I got nothing in mind. I got nothing written, whatever." I'm like, "Oh, I got this beat I bought from this dude in Florida." So I threw it on there and it started playing. And bro, like it's like I don't know, I got like a flashback or something, of like for something about the way that music hit, like it gave me like a flashback to like my 20s. Like, something in my head made me remember that fucking first heartbreak from that situation, and to be clear, not a hoe,
My
in
bad.
real
My
in real
bad.
life.
I'm not
Yeah,
calling
yeah.
somebody.
No, 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 I'm saying it's like, in real life, not a hoe, but, like, the song situation, like, also the way you react to a situation as a 22-year-old man and the way we feel about things, like you were saying, growth, isn't the way I'm gonna act about something as a 35-year-old man or a 45-year-old man. I'm 44 now, by the way. Um, like you were saying as well, growth, so, like, that's I think how the situation could happen because like, the way I emotionally responded to things in my 20s was not always the best response. Some things don't even always require a response, and I didn't even learn that till fuck maybe yesterday, you know?
Wow.
Uh, maybe this morning type shit. So something about that song made me like just flashback to like heartbreak. Had nothing to do with my current situation. Currently fucking great, you know what I'm saying? But something in that song made me flashback, boom. And the hook part came to me. And so we laid that down first, real quick, bam, hook. And then he's like, all right, let's write some verses. I'm like, I don't do that,
Oh,
So
shout out to the GOAT, right?
we went to the verse, and like that's just the shit that came out. That's what came to my brain. But because I was already thinking about a scenario now, because I have the hook, because I'm thinking of scenario and kind of that mindset, I think that's like why the universe delivered that shit. But then obviously, like I also can build as I'm doing that. My brain does whatever. So, and then boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, it's like when I also said shake off the history. If you notice, the first part of the song is like, it is sad. It's talking about how like it affected the confidence, the mentality of everything of the young man, right? But then he was also kind of like, "Yo, fuck that shit. I'm still the man. I'm still the shit. I'm Carrie Maple, you know.
Terry
Uh,
Mavel in the
uh,
building.
I can't. I could do whatever. I could pull the baddest bitch still. I could accomplish all my dreams, all my goals. You're basically learning that conquering that heartbreak taught you that you can conquer anything. And now at the end of the song, he has that swagger back. He's back to confident, but he's just reminiscing on the heartbreak. He's not in it anymore. He's learned from it, learned how to evolve and adapt from it, and now he's this new, confident, successful, better version of himself. The Saturday, like, it's just a play on words to me. I love double entendres. I love things that have double meanings. And it's like, well, that was a Saturday, because these days, like these days, I don't really, I'm not really sad much anymore. I've kind of happy guy. Yeah, even though I'm like, I still don't think I'm where I want to be in the music business. Like, I have goals and aspirations. Like, I want a Billboard like top 25 hit. I'm still happy with my life, bro. We're Americans. We're blessed to be where we are. Just you and me are both service members, so we're super blessed. We put in on this. I don't think the average person realizes, bro. You had like a 27% chance of being born in fucking India. Wake up and be thankful. So we're all winning.
I mean, shout out to my Indian fans. Shout out to your country and everything. They're saying like
I'm
that.
not hating on it, you know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? But like economically, let's be honest. If y'all had a choice of being there or here, you're gonna choose here too.
Listen, I don't know if you noticed, but we're on Earth. So yeah, I mean, and I'm not gonna play this. Growing up different. Remember, some of our service members are on the streets, so it really doesn't matter where we're here on Earth, and some of these decisions, situations, they can still make you look like you live in India as per se. So that's where I stand with shit like that. Am I grateful for the life that I have? Definitely. I got a fucking lawn, bro. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can be fun. We got rocks out here.
yo, but that's your choice. You went to that side of town.
Yeah.
That side of town is crazy.
Something
In the
little like that.
desert, bro.
You can be thankful and blessed about something tiny like having a lawn.
Yeah.
Most man ain't got a lawn. That was my point. I wasn't hating on India.
Yeah.
My point is, like, you should always feel blessed in your life, and we're super blessed for what we have. You know what I'm saying? So like, there's not a lot of Saturdays I'm having these days,
Yeah.
but there's always a time that you're for 1 second, your brain just might pop you back into remembering when you had a sad day. And you can also just pop into being a happy day. Like, maybe you remember the time, like out of nowhere, maybe you're having a rough day at this radio shit or at your other job shit, and then you remember the fucking time your second kid was born and how happy you were that day, and it just cheers you up. Like, that's the cool thing about, I guess,
That
random
gratitude. That gratitude.
memory
Yeah.
and like memories, and then gratitude and appreciation. So tapping into Saturday was weird, because again, I'm not sad about that situation anymore. That situation isn't reality anymore. In fact, it became like almost the happy ending vibes, but it's
That's dope.
like somehow I was still able to tap into when it did hurt. And when I was sad and I was upset about it, I think I was, because you're a 20-something-year-old man. I think it's more your ego. I think sadness becomes
You know what I think, and maybe you're getting to this, or maybe you're not. But as somebody who kind of reflects on a lot of the pain that I've gone through, and grateful that I've pushed enough to bring this to light. I always say, like, if I had a chance to talk to my younger self, you'll see that shit online a lot, right? And I do that literally to my younger selves, which are my children. I literally say, do not pop that pimple because it will leave a scar on your face. And I always thought that if I can go back in time, I can get these scars off my face. But instead, I tell the one that is about to do the same shit I did, because no one was there to tell me, right? And I think what you're really getting at, or maybe, may correct me if I'm wrong, is that you kind of you were able to talk about it finally in a way that it didn't hurt anybody. Because when you're hurt back in the day, everything comes out wrong. Everything comes out with a slur, with a this. It can even become emotionally or physically abusive. Because that's how men are, right? Because when we snap, it's kind of like we're not allowed to snap. We got to stay there in a tight situation. And finally, you're able to release all this shit, and it doesn't hurt anybody because it's the past. It is you finally letting it out, which is going to probably help somebody, because these motherfuckers be going through shit. And next thing you know, it's like they cut up their fucking girlfriend and put them in the back of a car. Let's not. That's a real situation.
Like that all the time, bro. That's some real shit. Or they just fucking do some fuck shit to themselves.
Yeah,
that's real shit. So yeah, no, that's definitely, we're on the right mindset here. That's kind of what it is. It's like being able to handle a situation and talk about it now, when as a young man it would have came out all wrong. You're 100% right. And like, what is history for us is the present for someone else.
Mm.
That's a real moment for some young man right now. And like you said, like, we don't want people doing crazy shit, like,
Yeah. There's a way out of it. You're not going to see it right now, but there's a way out of it. And some people use the power of prayer. Shout out to that. Some people use the power of staying busy. But that all those things are relying on time that you will get over it. In reality, you got to get over it in a way that's safe for you and everybody else around you. And you might have to put a barrier up. You might have to not trust people for a while. But that doesn't mean turn around and take your whole personality, which was the caring person and stuff like that, or build your own little rabbit hole of where people are. Because my young ass relationships, I used to think everything fucked up. How many dudes? How many is this the first time? Stuff like that. So though we're talking about Saturday, one day, it's a bunch of feelings. It's not a one day thing. This shit had its own series, right? This shit had its own fucking Netflix fucking show. This shit had everything. And I'm able to finally, like, let it be. And it took a while. And even when it's crazy, because as I'm learning you in the persona, I hear you saying it too, because you're like, that fucking beat gave me a feeling to release something. And then just like what I did with it, I put it away for a while. And then I got back to it when I was in my zen, when people wanted to work with me, work to get me better. And then all of a sudden the song is released. It's just the way that you've been operating believe it or not, like it's not like you needed a hand. You just knew that, okay, I got that. Let me record that and let me put that shit away for a second because I got to move on to this other shit that keeps me from feeling this for fucking 8 to 17 hours. And next thing you know, I didn't get no fucking sleep because I'm watching videos that says when a man grows up. Like, what the fuck are we talking about, bro? That's not my life right now, right? Anyways, big shout out to that. I appreciate that song. It's out right now everywhere, guys, specifically on Spotify to, go straight to TM and things like that. And there's a whole bunch of music out there too. You guys could check those out. All these links will be definitely in the description of this video and the podcast. So if you guys want to go back and check this out, I want to do one quick little break and then get into some closing stuff. I want to get into something kind of moody with Thunderclap, but we'll come back. And this is Thunderclap TM on QSJRadio.com.
Watch me. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Mommy, let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Woo! Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Mommy, let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Yeah. You know it's T to the flex. I bring your bitch in the back. You know she begging for sex. You know she begging for me. You know she begging for tea. You know I do it for free. You know I do it for cheap. Woo! Baby loves how I keep it so real. Yeah, she call me Van the Holy fuck Phil. You know I gotta keep it twerking on the wheel. Yeah, rat race, baby, what the deal? I'm stacking hard, stacking cool, stacking flex. I'm stacking paper, stacking motherfucking checks. And you can find me in the trap, I'm on the best. I keep it hidden in the back like a West. Call me like the Kanye. They tell me I'm the one, hey. I keep it like the Don say. T-Dot flex, bitch, gotta run away. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Mommy, let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Let me under that. Woo! Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Watch me thunderclap. Mommy, let me under that.
A good exchange too, It was genuine.
Hey, you can find me in the trap, boy. You know I'm never taking.
That's Thunderclap right there. And I'm gonna tell you something, guys. Like you guys, that's I'm from New York, so that sounds like strip club music to me. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And I don't know if that was the intention, but that's that dirty roots right there. That dirty South shit, and then you're bringing it all the way down. Is Las Vegas considered the West Coast? Like,
I think so. Yeah, you can't. I mean, there's only one more west, and that's California. You can't go much west. Yeah.
So, if you guys have just been here, we're talking to TM, and TM is there was a Terry
Mabel in the
Terry
motherfucking.
Mabel is in the building. I just wanted one more so the kid can see you later. You've been doing this for a hot minute. You've seen the hip hop culture actually change at least 16 times.
And 60,000 times.
But what's crazy is now is something that what we see in the hip hop culture that there's this weird shit, and I know people do it for clickbait, and I know people do it for views, and they know they got to cause some controversy. I really don't believe in that shit, and if it never makes me the top spot, I don't give a fuck because it's the reason why I have this show, and I'm gonna tell you, being white or light skin fucks the whole demographic up for some people who don't realize white people have been in rap for a long time. There's just been some that burst out into superstardom and some that stay very underground. They've been there. Beastie Boys, Eminem, Vanilla Ice, whole bunch of people, right? And then you get to the South, and you got, what's your boy's name? Country ass, what the fuck his name? Anyways,
Bubba Sparks.
Bubba Sparks, whole bunch of people that just break out. They've been there forever. I'm not saying anything has anything to do with you being white. You're making great music. It's getting charted. There's nothing that we could do. It's the music is speaking for itself, right? So then, but there's this one backlash in hip hop that I really don't get. And it is, there's a lot of old people mad at each other. And I don't know how you see this or have you been paying attention, but there's a lot of people that used to be really good friends with a lot of good people just shitting on each other. And everybody is tapping in on this Diddy shit to the point that is getting like we're making fun of a dude that cannot defend himself because obviously there's going to be some court involved. Two, everybody acts like they weren't doing the same shit. Okay, because shout out to the freak parties that I've been to, and I was a married man. You know what I'm saying? Like, what? Let's get serious. I mean, I didn't use baby oil; I use Vaseline. But listen, but we acting like these things don't happen, and they act like they weren't there when it happened. I don't want to get too tapped into that kind of shit because there's other things. There's people like going against each other, saying this. A lot of the stuff that you saying as an independent artist, which you can say is, hey, a lot of this shit is transitions. A lot of this stuff that gets done is with money. A lot of these motherfuckers is acting like, yeah, we were peoples in the studio. No, the reason this shit didn't go down the way it did is because the money wasn't right. And that's where people are not understanding. Like, if you cannot confess to what really goes on in the music business, then why fucking talk about it? But there's an atmosphere now in hip hop that people are just shitting on each other. And we've seen the demise of what we believed in New York, at least, that everybody in the South was peoples. And everybody put each other on. I'm sure you probably heard that shit a couple of times in your career, that's why the South erupted the way that it did. Where do you see this hip hop shit going? Because now we have I believe godfathers of this hip hop shit in a platform of podcasting that is trying to basically set the record straight or some other shit. And then you got these motherfuckers who they brought their little kids on. I call them little kids. Everybody on The Diplomat is a little kid. I don't care. Jim Jones, fuck that dude, fuck Cameron, fuck all that. Don't agree with me because you might have an opportunity with them. But all the motherfuckers have always been the little kids of hip hop for me. They never really adapted into what really goes on. But how do you see the state of hip hop since you're so involved in it? And I know there's a different world where you're at than what we see here on the East Coast.
I try to stay out of like politics and shit like that. It's like if it ain't my drama, it ain't my drama. I'm not really big for drama. I'm not really big for games. I'm pretty open, honest dude. I don't really be beefing with people like that. Like, that's not my thing. So the state of hip hop, when I see people doing shit like that, it's kind of like you said, it's kind of childish shit. Like, especially older dudes, bro. We're supposed to be examples to these younger kids. We're supposed to learn from our mistakes and then pass that down to the newer generations so they don't relive and copy our mistakes. So we aren't living a perpetual, like, just the same shit. Like, there's no growth if we just keep recycling the same mistakes. Like, someone's got to teach or someone's got to break that cycle. That's why, there was passed down traditions and tribes and groups for thousands of years. It's so they don't repeat mistakes. Like, you don't want to repeat the mistake of you planted your shit at the wrong time, so now you're fucking starving in winter. You know what I'm saying? There's a reason
Yeah.
people break mistake cycles. Now we're in this hip hop thing. Like, bro, there's a lot of things as an artist you can do that was gonna lose you a lot of money, a lot of time, a lot of momentum, could get you fucking killed type shit, all kind of shit that some of these dudes could teach dudes not to repeat. Um, but then I also feel like there are some dudes that are older in hip hop that are still acting like they're 17 years old, and that's kind of stupid too. But yeah, I
Oh, they
stay away.
dumb. Oh, that's
I
dumb. I see it all the time.
stay away from all that shit. I don't politic. I don't bang any sides or pick any sides. I don't even do like like the people like to write like diss tracks and beef. Like, I got no one I would beef with or diss track with. Um, Plus, I also feel like,
But you,
yeah, if you can sit down and write here to a beat, and you spent 3 days writing your reply to me, right? So your shit's gonna be amazing. You wrote it for 3 days. My reply is gonna be some shit I came up with off the top of my head in 30 seconds. So even though your bars are way deeper, yeah, you spent 3 days on it, but my bars are genuine. So I feel like can't no one really touch me if I were to beef with
uh,
somebody because my shit's like legitimate real off the top shit and your shit was written in a fucking lab type shit. Like, you had to sit there and think about me type shit. I didn't have to think about you. The universe just put it out for me type shit. So I don't think anyone could beef with me anyway in the rap game
yeah.
or the music game. So that's another reason I don't do it because I'd be undefeated at that shit if I did it. Like,
How did I know that this was gonna turn that way? Like,
I don't know.
that says a lot. That's a lot. Because I was thinking, listen, this
Very makes
dude,
want to fuck around.
done grown up, right, in different worlds, like 4 different times, and a lot of your new music suggests artist growth and maturity. Like, what are you exploring creatively now that maybe you weren't comfortable doing when you were younger?
Believe it or not, most people are more comfortable younger, like being more cocky and like confident talking their shit. I haven't really done that. Same with vulnerability. A lot of people don't want to be vulnerable. Like, in the last few months, I've made some random shit. Like, I made another kind of, I wouldn't say completely like sad boys. I call them all sad boy songs, the emo ones,
Sad boy,
even if it's
yeah. Yeah, rap emo is real. So let's go.
even if it's not really a sad song. Like, I made another one of those recently. It's called Overdose. And this one's more about like how um relationships can be kind of like a drug or love can be like a drug. Um it's spelled overdose like DOS like 2 in Spanish.
Yeah, wow, dose. Okay.
Double double play on that one as in, like, I could overdose or I could over too, like, I could also be over you too. So I got another Sad Boy song coming out, so that and then also, like, on the being able to, like, talk your shit, confident shit, I got a joint I just made called Concrete Jungle. It's got, like, some hella Cardi B vibes. I didn't notice it at first until my buddy Breadman pointed out to me. He's like, "Yo, that's, like, almost Cardi B flow," and I'm like, "Damn, it is, huh?" It's like a talking shit song because, like,
Yeah.
like, I'm not a big into bragging and all that, but hip hop is generally all about bragging and being the best. You're the best. You're the best. Everyone's the best in hip hop. They got the best jewelry. They got the best cars, the best clothes, the best bars, the best bitches, the best drugs. They got the best everything, the best champagne, right? Like, that's hip hop's about being the best of the best. And I've never really stepped into that light to like talk my shit type
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Like, I'm comfortable to do that some too because I don't feel like me talking my shit is me talking shit about another person.
Mm.
And I think when you're younger, a lot of people get that confused. Like, let's be honest, there's a lot of violence in hip hop too. Because I feel like a lot of people take shit personally. Like, just because you're saying you're the best doesn't mean I'm saying that you can't be the best. You could still be the best. You could be the best you. You just can't be the best me.
Mm.
Only I can be the best me. And I think some people need to pick up that attitude a little bit, you know. But I now feel a little more comfortable to talk my shit in some of the tracks. Um, so I got some shit like that coming out. And that's why I also think, like, if I were to beef, which I never would, but if I were to beef with someone, they wouldn't be able to fuck with me anyway. I'm nice with it. Um, and I think, like, getting to put out some of these different kind of songs now is gonna let people see different shit. Because a lot of people, especially here in town, like, a lot of people in Vegas say that, like, I'm just, like, my hip hop's too poppy, like, I'm a pop guy. And I'm cool with that too because let's be honest, bro, pop's where the money's at.
Yeah.
Pop means
Yeah.
pop a lot of people ended up liking your shit and it became popular. So I'm cool with that. But basically like that I made like bubblegum hip hop type shit. So that's why I kind of started making some other like more bar ass shit. Like the song that I did that's supposed to be with Fuego Bass. I hope it eventually does come out. That was like my first like introduction to myself trying to like purposely spit more deep bars than
Yeah.
shit, you know? And I think it goes pretty hard. And then doing that one made me wanna be like, "Okay, I wanna go bar harder on some other shit," and that's how I ended up coming up with that Concrete Jungle song, like, I've also been producing a lot of new shit too, like, me producing it instead of going from producers.
Yeah.
You know, I got a lot of free time on my hands, so I've been sitting back here cranking on the Ableton and shit, so, the Concrete Jungle song, I'll actually send it to you after we're done on email so you can check it out 'cause,
Definitely.
I
Definitely.
don't know when I'm gonna release it, but I think that shit goes hard as fuck. The beat's hard as fuck. I played it for a couple friends before I recorded it, and I'm like, "Yo, I might wanna get a feature on this." Every single person I played this production was like, "Yo, just let me get that."
Oh
Like, my
wow.
friend
Oh
everyone
wow.
tried to buy it
So
from me,
you
bro.
found another one. You found another
Yeah.
talent. There you go.
Everyone was like, "Yo, let me get that." And I'm like, "Nah, bro, I'm doing this for me." And at first, I was gonna put a feature on it, and, like, 2 of my friends that I showed it to wanted to be a feature, and then I was like, "Actually, you know, if everyone wants it this bad, I should just do it myself." And so I just did it myself.
Big shout out to everybody listening in. We're getting into some closing topics here. I want a rapid fire type of situations here. As an artist, you come across so many different things. We've talked about it. Growing up, obviously, making your own family, these situations become a little bit different. The attitude towards life becomes a little bit different. But as an artist, I want to know a few things, maybe that you could share with us. You've done a lot of touring. What is your favorite city that you ever performed in?
Um, Favorite city. Even though I'm from Atlanta, one of the favorite shows I ever played was a Kingdom Rave I played in Atlanta. It was like 10,000 people at that shit. It was a block party. It went so hard.
Atlanta
There's
always got the best parties. I swear to God.
bro, like the ATL ho chant is like until you experience that, seeing thousands of kids just screaming ATL ho, bro, like chill bumps. Like
Yeah.
that shit hard. Besides that, my second favorite probably has been Colorado Springs,
Wow.
Denver. That shit goes pretty hard. I'd like to get back up there too. Um, and honorable mention, um, Virginia always seems to go pretty nice.
Yo, where? 757 area? Where?
I've done Richmond twice now.
Richmond.
There
Shout out
always
to
seems
Richmond.
a decent turnout in Richmond. Um, Texas seems to go pretty nice. Um, and then I've had some places that are not my favorite, but you know.
Yeah, we're not talking about those yet. Because you might
Yeah.
have to go back.
Right.
One artist that you love to collaborate if you had the chance with tomorrow.
Tomorrow, like in hip hop or any
Any,
artist.
any, any.
Fuck. just because I want to get a Billboard hit and go super double, triple, quadruple platinum.
If you say what I think.
Taylor Swift, bro.
You said Taylor?
Fuck yeah.
Yo, let's go. Let's go. For an artist, what's a better environment for you, the studio or the stage?
I like them both equally for different reasons.
Okay. Okay.
I like the studio because it's where I get to be creative and shit just comes out. I like the stage because it's kind of like a drug.
Hmm.
Like you can't get that feeling anywhere else than like right there. Well, maybe combat. Combat's kind of close.
I can't. Somebody was trigger happy. Yeah. Most underrated artist you think right now?
Me and this motherfucker. TM. Besides me though, most underrated, like someone that's actually out there. I don't know. So like everyone that's out there is killing it. Yeah, me, bro, me.
All right.
'Cause
Damn.
people don't know this shit. Yeah.
The man. AKA. That's a lot of AKAs. What's one thing fans don't know about you?
Well, they definitely know I'm a stoner. I don't know, bro. That I guess it's kind of like I'm a simple dude, bro. Like I'm a real ass.
You know what I want to ask? I want to ask, like, if you had the time to binge a show that no one would think that you actually watch, what show is that?
Fuck show. Couple. Yo, I hit the spinoff of the spinoff. Look, so
Yo.
that young Sheldon shit that was a spinoff of The Big Bang, and then now that Georgie and Mandy shit that's a spinoff of Sheldon. I watched that Georgie and Mandy shit. It's like the double spinoff.
That's crazy. That's when science and hip hop collide. They don't understand.
But I'll watch anything. I'm a huge movie and show dude because I live a very blessed, awesome existence. So I have a lot of free time on my hand, and so I can be here at whatever fucking time it is doing this podcast. So I watch a lot of shit, bro. I watch movies that people. I'm gonna hit you all real quick with a couple weird ones that you'll have to see. I somehow got into this weird genre of movies, and then I kind of find out that it's the same dude making them. So I'm like, fuck yeah. So I started with this movie called Psycho Gorman. It has a very 1980s kind of aesthetic and vibe, and it's like a horror comedy sci-fi. Psycho Gorman. Okay, after watching that shit, I found this shit called Frankie Frico. Same dude. Sick ass movies. Go watch them. They're fucking weird. If you can take that, now you get an idea of like I can watch anything, bro. I can watch anything.
Oh my God.
Go put them on your list. Run this back and
one of my last questions to you was if your life was a movie, what is the title?
Fuck. I don't think there's a movie called this, so we're gonna call it this. It's gonna be called Conquer.
Mm. Mm. Big shout out to that. Wow.
Yeah, because I feel like that's what this shit's about, like life. I have a lot of weird beliefs, like, I'm into some weird shit. So I'm gonna say this and then follow it up with completely disregarding what I just said. You have one life to live. I believe we live multiple lives, okay? I believe there's like infinite lives. But let's just say this is the one. Yo, you got to live this like it is the one. So my goal is to conquer everything I do. Even in failure, I'm going to conquer that failure because I'm going to learn from it. So if I had to do my life story as a movie, it's going to be conquer because that's the goal with everything, bro. Every experience, even failure, I want to conquer it.
Well, TM, thank you so much for sitting here talking about life stories. You're definitely this crazy independent artist thing now that you are basically almost signed, right? Basically, Wild Dogs Entertainment and the Roc Nation distribution going on. This shout out to the success of Saturday so far. And that journey from Atlanta to Las Vegas, your tourings, your collaborations, your industry lessons. I really appreciate all those things. And for those who want more information on TM, you know, you can catch him on that Instagram. You know, he's over there chilling a lot. He's for those who are still around on Facebook, it is live on Facebook. People do not understand. It is lit over there. It might seem like it's not because some people just, you know, they go from one social media platform to the next. Facebook brought us together. Definitely hit him up on that YouTube and then on that, and that you on that tickety. You on that TikTok.
On the talk. I'm not like I'm not good at the video editing, but I'm on the talk. Like
Yeah,
I'm working.
I'm like, if I see your ass dancing around, bro, we're done. I'm just telling you that shit right now.
Uh,
If you
I
hit
don't.
one of,
We just pull up our pants and do the rock away. You know, lean back.
yeah, let's go. I appreciate everything. I'll definitely hit you up.
Norm, I appreciate you for having me on. Thank you for the platform. Thank you for your time. My one last leaving thing, the new EP, Almost Famous. There's a reason for it, like you just said. I'm like this goddamn close. I need everyone's support. I'm trying to be real famous, Almost Famous EP out soon. Again, thank you, QSJ Radio, for the platform, for the time, for the opportunity, for giving me a chance to speak to you this morning, and for being a real motherfucker.
Oh man, I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much, team. So what the fuck is the TM?
It's the man, bro. Yeah, it's too much. It's the man.
Too much. The man, Terry. What?
Terry Maple said.
Terry Maple.
It'll be
Releases are
tomorrow.
out. They're all over the place. Thank you
Right
so
here.
much, TM, and we'll talk soon.
Have a good one. Thank you so much.